Hello, let's talk today about this Reolink in VR. I have it here with some cameras, all Reolink cameras. As you can see here in the screen, I have one here at my office and other ones in different rooms, okay? So everything is connected here and working. One of the cameras is the RLC510WA, okay? That'll be this camera here. So it's back there working. Let me just double click so you can see it better. Here we go. And then I have some other cameras around. This one, for example, that's here, close to my cat, is a Reolink Duo. And then I have another Reolink Duo just right here. Okay. So as you can see, it has some infrared lights. So the camera turns the infrared light during the night and it's working. And this one here, it's a PTZ camera. The RLC8-410. Okay, so you can move the camera, you can play with the camera. It's pretty interesting. The Reolink Duo, it's also an interesting camera. As you can see in this image here, it's a large image because it has two cameras, right? I have two lenses. It's one camera with two lenses. So basically, here you can see one of the camera, then there's a small division here, and then you can see the other one, right? And they stick together, so you see a large image here, which is pretty nice. Okay, so this camera is this one that's here, as you can see, close to the cat, right? So the camera can see the cat here, and the other lens can see the rest here of the environment, right? Which is right here. So pretty interesting, pretty nice camera. So let's talk more about the NVR. That's the focus of this video. Basically, what I have here physically is the NVR connected to the camera. So this cable here, this black cable, goes to my PTZ camera. That's the one right here. Directly to the camera, powers the camera via PoE or power over Ethernet. And then I'm not using the other channels here. As you can see, I don't have cables in the other 7 remaining channels. I'm just using one of them. And then I connect a cable from the LAN port of the NVR, this right here, which comes to this switch. And from this switch, I have the cameras connected there via Wi-Fi because I'm connected here to the router as well. So I connect to my computer, I connect to the router, and as long as the cameras are connected to the router, I can see them here, right? For example, you see here is a wireless camera connected via my router. Okay, the Reolink Duo here, Reolink Wireless. That's one again. Is this RLC510WA? So it's a wireless camera. Then they connect to my router and come here via this switch. Pretty basic, right? Here I have a USB pen drive so I can back up stuff. I just connect it here and I can back up from my NVR. And I'm also connecting here to this monitor that you see via HDMI cable. And also has audio out, on off button. And here I can connect the power with the power supply that comes with the NVR. I can also expand the recording capabilities of this device, connecting an eSATA here. Okay, if I have another device, external device, I can connect here to expand the storage that I have inside, right? So that's the rear part of the NVR. And in the front part, you just have some basic buttons and you can connect your mouse as I'm doing right here. I have a USB port in the front of the NVR and I connect my mouse there, okay? So let's talk more about the camera features. As you can see here, I'm using my PTZ. When I double click, I can see one single camera, double click again and see all of them. I have 6 connected right here. I have space for 2 more cameras. I double click here, for example, I also see the camera. When I click once, I have the menu for the camera for playback, recording, stretch on and off. Here to zoom. So basically I can zoom in the image and then I can move, which is pretty nice. Okay. And then I can come back to the original. and exit. Now I click again and I have audio. I'm not gonna test audio here because it makes some noise. It's not time for that. So image settings, I can change here the brightness, the contrast. So basically I'm controlling the camera from my NVR. Okay, if I mess up something, I can come here to restore to default settings. Click here and it comes back to the way it was before. Click again. Then I have preview on and off, spotlight. I can turn on and off spotlight if the camera has spotlight. Sound alarm. Also make a lot of noise, and I can come to the camera settings, which is pretty nice. I can come to the settings directly from the NVR. I don't need to open a web browser to see the camera. So here I can choose the camera that I want to check. Okay, this Reolink Duo, for example. And here I can see the main screen, the sub screen, the resolution, frame rate, everything. I can say information about the display. Can change what is displayed here, date, name of the camera, logo. Detection, I can work with the motion detection sensitivity and adjust it here for low, medium, and high. And also control audio and lighting, right? Spotlights, volume, also I can test here. And then from here, I can also check the things related to the NVR itself. Channels, for example. So I have all my channels here. Right now I'm using 6 of them and I have extra 2. In surveillance, I can adjust things like to record, email alerts, FTP, buzzer, push notification, siren, and on-screen warning. Network, just basic stuff. You come here, you set up your IP address, your DNS, or your gateway. General, and you can work with static or DHCP. Okay, and advanced, you can come here to set up the DNS, NTP, IP filter, and port settings. Okay, it also works UPnP and on-VIF protocol. So I can have other cameras working with this universal on-VIF protocol. Storage, it's the internal hard drive. I can format the hard drive. I can check information about it. And on system, I can check the name, change the NVR name, resolution that I see on the screen, scroll view time, 5 seconds. That's the time when the camera changes on the screen. So you go from camera 1 and 2 and 3 automatically, and that's the time. You can require account password verification to unlock screen, okay? And things like that. And then you have time and language, basic English, the language here, time zone, account center. Those are the account, the admin account, and other accounts. Maintenance, you can do auto reboot, check for firmware. For example, if I'm using the latest version or not, that's the one, the latest one. You can upgrade it, restore to default settings, and things like that. And info about the device, okay? And let me just show some other features here that are interesting, especially with the PTZ cameras. This one, for example, I can double click and start controlling the camera. So when I click once again, I see information about the camera. So I can play back, I can work with the recording, but the interesting part here for this camera is the PTZ, right? So here I can control my camera. I can move to the left, move to the right, down and up. So that's the pan and tilt. And I can also zoom. Let me just use here this bar and zoom a little bit more. Here we go. And that's the camera that I'm using right here, the RLC8-410. All right. I can work with the presets. So I created some presets here already. Let's say, for example, I want to check the USA flag. I just click here and goes to the position. I want to see my tripod. So I have it there. Let's say, let's go to America. Here we go. It takes a while to focus. And that's it. You can adjust presets here. Let me just come here to this wide. Back to the RLC8-410. Wait for a while and the camera get focused, right? I'm back. And you can set up patrol, which is a group of presets. You can come from preset 1, 2, 3 in sequence, for example, and do a patrol. monitor point. So here I can return to a point that I was like, I can set up previously a point that I can return as a home, for example, home position. Let me just come here, for example, with this America preset. Then I come here to the monitor point and I click to come back. Pretty good. So pretty nice, works pretty good, okay? And then if I want to check things like display mode, I can check, see all of the cameras at the same time. Let's say 4 cameras. Okay, I can see 9 cameras at the same time. And here with 10 and 13 cameras. Okay, just back to 4, and here you go. Then you can also play back. Let's say I want to play back, and I can choose a channel here. Here we go. Let's say the channel number 1. Apply. Here I have the date, a calendar. I'm recording today, and here I have the recordings. Right? It's here on blue. So you see there's something here, and then I can select with this line, this green line, and go to whatever I want here. It's pretty fast. And if I want to export something, I just come here to cut, and then I can cut. I put here this bar, for example, at 6. This one, let's say, starting at 505 to 508. Right? It's not 6. I'm confused here. It's 505 to 508, right? I can move the bars. Yeah, here we go. Let's say I want from 508 to 520. That's what I have to do. Select here, and then I save, and can go to a pen drive, right? Let me just cancel here. I'm going to do this with a different camera. Let's say, for example, this Reolink Duo here. Here we go, and I have this for this Reolink camera. Let me just come here to a different time. So I have my cat around. Here we go. Okay, I want to get something more interesting to show you guys. So here we go with the cat, for example, and then I want to cut, right? And then I cut here, and let's just move this back to sometime that's interesting, 438 to 442. Then I hit save, and here I have already some things recorded here on the USB drive. So let me just click here to format the card, the USB drive. I hit continue, and then I'm gonna to backup. When I click here start, starting backing up is going to format the USB drive here, and then back up what I've chosen there. Okay, so you just need to follow the progress here. It doesn't take that long. It shows here 1 of 2 because I'm backupping 2 cameras at the same time. Remember, the Reolink Duo has 2 lenses, okay? So it's finished already, success. As you can see here, I have 2 of them. It's 1 camera, 2 lenses. It's like having 2 cameras, right? And then I can just click here and see what was recorded, which is pretty nice. You can play from here, or you can remove the pen drive from here and play on your computer. But I think it's very nice. You can play here. You can check if the recording is good. It's a pretty nice feature. Here again, you see the other one. So pretty good. Okay. And you can also come here and back up directly. Instead of like just go to playback, you can go to backup. And here, the camera is going to show you some things that you have available already. Let me just remove this camera from here, or I can leave it, right? And just hit search. And now, then if you're looking for recordings that I have, and as you can see, I have recordings already separated here, so I can check what they are. Here we go. If I like this one, for example, I can see here when it starts, when it ends, and just can come here, mark it, and backup. And I click here to backup, and I go again to this point. Instead of format the card now, I'm just going to start the backup process. So I want to back up just this camera and keep the other ones that I have here already, right? That I backed up before. So pretty good as well. This way it's pretty easy to work. You see, it's a nice interface. You can just click and intuitively do stuff here. You can playback, you can export the configuration, you can set up cameras directly from here. So it's pretty interesting. And you can also see this from your computer, right? You can just connect your computer, as I have here, to the switch, and from the network you can see it. So it's pretty interesting as well. So here I have success, and here we go. I have now 3 different files here, right? So I can play back this one. It's already recorded, and I can export as well. Okay. I mean, it's already exported, right? I can remove from here and play on my computer if I want to. So pretty interesting device, okay? I recommend this if you want to install in a small project and a medium project. It's pretty good. It's an affordable device with good features and handles well Reolink cameras and also some other different cameras with the on-VIF protocol. I think it's better to use Reolink camera because it's the native protocol and works much better. But in general, I recommend this NVR so you can work with your projects